Stolford Bay to meet a fisherman who spends his life in the bleak landscape of the river estuary.
The first thing I met was a fly with a buzz and...
When the tide is out, an estuary can look just like an empty desert, but fishermen have made a living here for years. Using the movement of the tides, they catch fish in special nets, and that's what I hope to see today.
Well, finally I've got to my man. He's here waiting behind the truck. To me, he looks like the desert out there. But this is Adrian.
Hello, mate. Hello.
Adrian, dear me. Nice to meet you.
All right.
Have I got the right kit on?
You got the right kit on, mate. You haven't seen nothing yet.
I haven't seen nothing.
You haven't seen nothing.
So Adrian, what we're going to see out there today?
Shrimps mainly.
Shrimps.
And I hope to go out deeper and get a few skate, bass and things like that if they're there. Ready? You follow me?
Yes, I'm going to follow you. Through there?
Yeah, don't veer off this track. You keep it out.
I like it. Oh, gee. I tell you one thing, this thing looks like from the Ark.
That's our Mudhorse.
A Mudhorse?
Mudhorse, that.
Well, that's a fair ways out. What's all? Oh, I see the stones is on there to keep them there as we won't wash away.
Oh, I don't take them home every day, do I?
And you take this one across from here onwards?
Yeah. I'll do these stones, shoot across thick mud, but I'll get there quicker only than you will walking.
You see, I've been through the desert on a horse with no name. It felt good to be out of the rain. In the desert, you can't remember your name, 'cause there ain't no one for to give you no pain. La 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 la.
Guys,
Well, there we go, Johnny. That's as far as my sledge is going to go. Now we've got to walk down and fish the nets.
I'm getting excited because we're getting near the catch, we hope. Adrian's going to show us in a minute
Go down the
something I've never seen before in my life. Why shaped like a rocket?
Well, they go in there, in through the apex, and then they can't get back out again. They're trapped in this big area.
Oh,
here,
I
look.
see. There's fish in there.
Yeah, fish
Look
and
at the
shrimp.
small one.
That's what we're after, the shrimp, huh?
Yeah, come on. We want to see this very carefully now, man.
You can eat, eh? Eat one.
Yeah,
if you
look,
want.
look, you got all the stuff coming in. You got, what's this? Is this place?
No, Dover sole.
Dover sole.
Slip soles.
Very, very expensive fish to buy. Dover sole. First time that I've ever put one in my hands out of a little net. I can't even hold that one. Oh, I'm gonna hurt you, boy. Look at that. This is Dover sole. Yes. Okay. Right. Pout whiting. Very small pout whiting.
Yeah.
Very small pout whiting. And of course the main body which Adrian wants, where the money is, I suppose. This is shrimp. Very small one there. This is your shrimp.
Yeah, that's for shrimp.
So Adrian, the tide comes in this way,
Yeah,
and you catch your fish when the tide goes back to sea.
that's right. That's why all your nets are facing this way. People think they face in towards shore, but it doesn't go in and out that way. It goes up and down the river.
So already the fish have passed these nets,
Yeah, that's it.
and then they're making their way back to their home, and they get caught going back.
That's right.
What you done then? You just sieve them out,
I do.
get all rid of the muck.
Now get rid of the small shrimps. Let them go back, and then
They go back to be a bigger shrimp. So
Yeah.
what he's done there, Adrian, picked out this very, very small shrimp, just dropping through the bottom to live again, and just takes the prize ones, and then that's the new stock for next year. That's what happens, isn't it?
Yeah.
You've been doing this for a long, long time.
I've been doing it for 30 years, and my father been doing it all his life, and his father been doing that. So it's about 5 generations.
Yes.
Just in the Sellick family have been doing it, and I've carried on. So that'd be the 6th generation, like, you know.
God, dear me, as far back as that.
But I don't know if my boys are going to carry on with it. We aren't, Johnny. Look, you taste one of these, huh?
Well, eating that rope.
Yeah, you won't
Still
get it.
alive, man.
I know. But you'll be nice and sweet. You know, you ain't got no poo on you either.
So just watch this, people.
Sweet, isn't it?
Not bad. This is a different sort of net altogether. This is a straight up one, Adrian.
Yeah,
isn't
this is straight gill nets, this is.
it? Did you hear that? Straight gill net, catching by the gills. Oh no, that is a lovely fish. Now, if you catch something like that, that is a nice fish, beautiful fish.
I'm going to just let him drop
This
out
fish, you can be very careful. It's a thorn. That's it, a thornback, is it?
Yeah. Well, no, he's just.
Is it? What is smooth?
Yeah.
This got skin like a sandpaper, but you only eat the wings. That's right.
Well, no, we eat the wings in the back.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, there's just as much meat on the bit of back there as what there is on the.
Well, that's something else I've learned today. It's
You know.
eating a piece of the. I never known that. You know.
I'll leave it
Oh,
there.
he's a beautiful fish.
That's a better one.
Oh, what's he got there? This looks interesting. What's that? What's this over here, Adrian?
You tell me, John.
Well, this looks like a prize fish. I can see what it is. It's the bigger one of them back there. Dover sole?
Yeah,
is it Dover sole?
Yeah, Dover sole, John. Yeah.
Dover sole. No, a lot of people love the Dover sole.
Yeah.
That is a very good catch.
Yeah.
Beautiful fish. Lovely fish to eat. But Adrian likes the smaller ones. But that is a beautiful fish.
Oh, he's
Look at that there. What a meal that is.
You went out in restaurant board.
Oh,
cool.
what did he cost you?
12 quid, I
Yes,
spent,
he would.
wasn't
All that, yes. He would.
it? All of that, I spent.
Because it's about 14, I should think.
Yeah.
Between 12 and 14 pound in a restaurant, that would cost you.
Johnny, he was worth coming out for today. That pays me day's wages.
But that's just that one fish.
Just that fish, yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Well done.
I can have a pint tonight.
Well done. Yeah, I like this.
To source our ingredients for our first feast of the day, Mark and I were off to find an extremely rare kind of fisherman, Adrian Sellick. We looked for him first at his fish shop. Hello.
Oh, hello.
Who are you, sir?
Yeah, I'm Brendan.
You're Brendan.
Yeah.
So where's Adrian?
Oh, he's out fishing. I'm waiting until we can get on and clean it up here.
Oh,
and
is
cook.
he still out there at the moment?
Yeah, he's still out there.
Oh, I'm going to run up and find him then. Fine. Yeah, okay. I'll
Yeah,
meet you, by the way. Mark.
If you go down over the beach, you'll see him coming back in.
Okay, I'll rush down and get him.
Yeah.
Brendan, Matt.
Yeah,
I'll see you in a bit. Nice to
Okay.
meet you. So, Brendan, tell me a little bit about what you do. It's very special, isn't it? Very
Yeah.
unique.
Yes, it is unique. I've been doing it for 60 years actually, but and Adrian's been doing a good many years. But my father did it all his life.
And this is mud fishing.
Mudhorse fishing.
Mudhorse fishing.
Yeah, in Bridgewater Bay. Of course, when I started 60 years ago, there was half a dozen families in this hamlet that was doing it.
Right.
And now it's just gone down to we're the only ones, and Adrian's being the last one of doing it. Whether he'll continue is depending on whether he can make a living.
So, Brendan, what is a mud horse?
Well, it's a very primitive tool that been going right back to the Roman times, and
Yeah.
we've never improved on it. If you went out there with anything, the mud's so soft you could disappear in it, but with a mud horse you can slide across the top and you're perfectly safe.
So it's sounding quite dangerous to me.
Yeah,
so you
it
could
is.
sink into the mud and
Oh,
then you've got
yeah.
tides that could race
Oh
up
yeah,
the channel.
very, very dangerous.
When Mark arrived at the mud flats of the Bristol Channel, he took a long walk out to meet Adrian, trying his best to stay on his feet.
That is some deep mud. I'm actually. Hello. Look at that. That's amazing. Now that is what I call grafting. Adrian, I'm Mark.
Hello, Mark.
How you doing?
Yeah, not too bad, mate.
You look like you've got the hardest job in the world.
Not about the hardest, but it's the dirtiest.
So what exactly are you doing? You're not ploughing the fields, are you?
No,
You're fishing in the mud, yeah?
Well, I've got nets about a mile like there.
I can just see the green. Yeah, I can just see that. Wow. Right, put all the nets up between those sticks, yeah? And then walk away. If the tide comes in, the water floods through along with any fish. They get tangled up in the nets. The tide goes out. You go and pick the fish up.
We catch on the going out side.
Okay, right.
It's more of a funnel.
Right, okay.
It's on the going out side.
Okay.
It's mainly for these.
Right, yeah.
That's what we're aiming for. It's a brown shrimp.
Yeah, I love those. Potty shrimp's one of my favourite things. Right. Any chance I can have a go at pushing this beast?
You're all right. Don't damage it.
I'm more likely to damage me. Right, okay. Mud. How'd you steer it? Going this way though, I'll end up in France. So tell me, how'd you get all Right. Wonderful.
With their Mudhorse catch on board, Mark and Adrian head back to share it with me, and I can't wait to take a look at that fresh seafood.
How'd you get on?
Hello,
there?
Adrian, is it? Hello, Adrian. Matt.
Hello.
How'd you get on?
It was amazing out there.
Yeah?
Yeah, I see why they sent me to do it and not you though. Okay, Matt, I've got to say, on this one occasion, I'm usually the gentleman, but I have to say, that as I've done all the hard work, pushing the
All the
Mudhorse
hard work.
to go out there and get these fish.
Adrian's laughing his head off.
Choice.
Yeah, go on, what do you want?
So, I'm going to be kind to you because I know there's a bass in here. Oh, it's beautiful. Look at this lovely
You're going to take the
graze on
mullet,
it.
yeah?
And a handful of brown
Brown
shrimp.
shrimps. Okay. You know what I want?
Yes.
I'll have a skate.
Oh.
And I'll have some brown shrimps.
Oh. Well, that's been probably one of the best days ever I've ever had, I think. I have to say. So thanks for that. I really enjoyed that. You're gonna, well. Then you didn't do it. Let go.
That was brilliant. Thank you very much for that.
Yeah.
Fascinating
Thanks
stuff.
a lot.
Good luck
Great
with
to meet
everything.
you. Thanks a lot. Cheers.
Thanks a lot.
He's got a firmer handshake than you, by the way. Yeah, well done, mate.
Only just.
I've always been one for the outdoor life, and I've always loved horses. So, imagine my joy when my director phones up and says, Jules, we're going to be filming a horse working on the shoreline of the Bristol Channel. Well, it turns out the shoreline is mud flats, the horse is submerged somewhere out there, and this is a very interesting fashion statement. Right, I'm off to meet Adrian, the horse's owner. Adrian Sellick has a horse with a difference, and he uses it to ply an ancient form of fishing. He's the country's last Mudhorse fisherman, a relic of a time gone by when coastal communities used whatever method possible to harvest the seas which surround our island. Adrian's Mudhorse is tethered about a mile from the shore. To get there, he uses a rather more modern form of transport. For me, it's a bit of a slog, and the torrential rain and near gale force wind made it that much more challenging. Adrian, hi.
Hello, you phoned me there.
How are you doing? Well, yeah, an interesting journey that was.
Yes.
So, Adrian, you're a Mudhorse fisherman. What exactly is a Mudhorse?
This is the Mudhorse. It's like a table turned upside down with two skis. My father thinks the Romans invented it, but I'd like to find out who did invent it. But it's just the ideal machine to go across the mud.
Right, so it basically transports you from here over to your net.
It's just ideal for putting all the fish in and the shrimps, what I catch, and bring it back on my sledge.
Why do you fish this way rather than go out in a boat, say, which most people would think of when you say fishing?
Well, it's the only way to catch shrimps, really, with the nets we've got. I mean, you can't trawl for shrimps because we're after the little brown shrimp, and this is the best spot in the Bristol Channel for catching the brown shrimp.
Presumably you make these, the Mudhorses, do you?
These are all specifically made for the person who's going to push the sledge, because you measure the height from your foot to top of your knee. So every sledge is individually made for each person. But I mean, there's only one sledge now, so it's always made for me.
So you are basically the last Mudhorse fisherman left?
I'm the last Mudhorse fisherman yet.
Right, so how do we get this steed up and running?
Well, if we finish taking the stones off, then we can have a go. Put your belly on there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And away we go.
Lovely. Actually, it feels quite nice. Kind of back-breaking, but...
Oh, there's an art in it.
There is an art in it, and to be perfectly honest, Adrian, I don't think I've quite got that art. So, you've got to go over there, haven't you?
I'm going to go straight across there, yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm going to leave it to the professionals, so if I can get out the mud. So I'll walk round and see you there, yeah?
All right.
All right, then. Let's watch how it should be done, shall we?
Well, I'll see you over there, Julia.
The Mudhorse allows Adrian to glide across the treacherous flats to the nets. As there's not room on the horse for two, I'm taking the long way round. I'm following strict instructions from Adrian, who's known and negotiated the channel all his life, on the safest route. Well, I've been on easier strolls in the countryside before. The nets are up all year round, 7 days a week, 52 weeks a year. Today, there are only 25, but depending on the season, there could be many more. So how do these nets work, Adrian?
You can manage it. A funnel, it's a funnel. And then you've got another bit inside. So when they go in, they can't get back out.
Right.
Or they're trapped as such. So,
Okay.
it's a bit like a rat trap or something, you know, where they go in and then they can't come back out.
It's only for one-way traffic,
That's
basically.
it, yes.
Yeah.
Well, it's just principle, but this is only netting material and not wire.
And why are the nets so far out?
It must be my great-grandfather who's put them here, and that's the way it works.
Right.
We've never done anything different.
So how does this compare to other catches?
Well, it's about average. Each day's different. I mean, yesterday I had a couple of nice skate out here, but I haven't got any skate today.
So how much more time have we got out here, Adrian, before the tide starts chasing us?
Well, we've got about 20 minutes, 25 minutes, really.
Right, OK. And is it ever dangerous? Have you ever been caught out?
Many a times, but that's just greed. I've been caught out by trying to fish me nets, and there's a fish there, and I think, oh, go and get that one, and go and get that one. And when I've turned round, I've been on an island and trapped, like,
right.
you know.
Yeah.
With that in mind, I left Adrian to finish emptying the rest of the nets to begin the journey home. Once again, the wind picked up and the rain started to lash, and getting back to the shore was kind of sticky and ever so slightly muddy. Adrian's a fifth-generation Mudhorse fisherman. This is his father, Adrian Sellick, who's now in his 70s. He worked the Mudhorse from the age of 14. Today, he runs his small fish shop and is never short of a local customer or two.
All right? Oh, all right.
Hi, Brendan.
Hello.
Hiya.
Bit muddy, wasn't it?
Well, it was slightly muddy, yeah. I've been in less muddy places in my life.
Yeah.
So do you miss it? Because you don't go out fishing anymore,
No,
do you?
I've got too old now because it's physical. I leave it to Adrian to do the hard work, and I just help out in here, like doing a bit of fish and cook the shrimps. I've done it until I was over 70, so I'm,
Well,
you know.
Adrian has told me that you won't retire.
No.
So what are you doing with those prawns now, then, those shrimps?
Just putting them in the boiling water for just a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
And then only take 2 minutes, and they've cooked. And I'll tip them out in the basket, the reap. You'll see now in a minute.
Yeah. And was it different in your day when you were doing it to how it is now?
Well, we used to catch an awful lot more, of course.
Did you?
But we weren't, you never got much money for them. We used to catch an enormous amount of shrimp here, Bridgewater Bay. But we used to send them all over the country. But now we just catch enough to supply the locals here. They're ready now, so I'll take them out.
Yeah, you carry on. So then you've had this set up here for generations.
Oh, yes, yeah. It's only very primitive, but it works.
Absolutely. So is it all right to try one?
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Now you peel them, don't you?
Yep.
Head off.
Head off.
Twist the tail.
Yeah, and out the body comes. Like that, look.
Well, you're the expert, yeah.
Piece of cake.
Mine's not quite as good as that.
No.
Right.
Very tasty. Yeah, lovely.
Very tasty.
Yeah.
That was well worth getting cold, wet and muddy for.
Yeah, lovely.
Top shrimps.
Yeah.
Can I have another one?
Yeah, have another one, yeah.
It would be a real shame if this ancient way of life was to disappear. So let's hope another Sellick takes up the reins of the Mudhorse when father and grandfather eventually let them go.
Well, now it's my turn to head out on an unconventional coastal craft and meet a man whose quest is to continue an age-old way of fishing.
I'm a stone's throw from Steart Marshes, on a stretch of coastline in the shadow of Somerset's Hinkley Point power station. It's a foreboding backdrop, a constant reminder that the needs of modern living are a stark contrast to the way of life Adrian Sellick is determined to keep alive: mudhorse fishing. Using his trusty steed to skim over the mud to the water's edge, Adrian fishes the estuary for brown shrimp that he and Dad Brendan sell in their garden shop.
Well, I've never seen one of these before, Adrian. This is your mudhorse, is it?
Yeah, this is the famous Mudhorse, yeah.
Gosh, how long have your family been doing this?
Well, Dad's been doing it since 67 years, roughly, and I've been doing it since I was 9. We go back about 6 generations.
Talk me around it then, how does it work?
Well, you lean on it and off you go.
And this is your design?
Well, no, this goes back centuries, but I mean, you've got to make it specially to adapt for you.
Yeah.
If that ain't the right height, your legs will be either skimming the mud, or if it's too low, you'll hit the bottom on your knees.
Customised.
Yeah, customised, yeah.
And these buckets are the bits you need for the fishing?
That's right, yeah. We used to make them all out of driftwood, and the bottom used to be a coffin board.
Really?
Yeah.
Reusing everything?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, there must be a technique to it. How does it work then?
Well, just lie on and hope for the best.
You're very elegant, like a ballerina.
Thank you.
You made that look so easy.
Well, about time you ought to go, isn't it?
Right, here goes nothing.
Push with your toes.
Chocks away, push with your toes.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, there's quite a lot of
Oh,
work
you're a pro
involved.
to it.
This is the only way Adrian can reach the tide's edge to collect the shrimp and reset the nets. Then he races back across the mud before the returning tide catches up with him.
It's quite a good ride, isn't it?
But do you reckon you can push out for a mile?
Not a mile?
A mile.
No chance.
Adrian believes the rise in sea temperatures and changes in the estuary over the last 40 years are the reasons his catch has plummeted. But he feels it's more than just a way to make a living.
If it's not profitable, why do you still do it?
The love of the job.
Oh, you do?
Well, it's nice and listen. What can you hear?
Just the birds.
Birds, skylark.
It's bliss.
It's lovely, you know.
Yeah. You're going to keep going then?
I'm going to keep going. So long as Dad can walk up to the little shop, I should keep going.
That's great.
Neither of his sons have followed in his mud steps, but with Adrian's passion alive and well, so is the tradition.
At Bridgewater Bay, at low tide, the shallow water becomes a vast expanse of mud. On the edge of the bay, in Stolford, there's a fishing family who for generations have earned their living from the mud. To come home with a decent catch, they rely on centuries-old skills and ancient tools unique to the men of the mudflats.
My name is Brendan Sellick, and I've been a Mudhorse fisherman all my working life, ever since I was a nipper. I used the Mudhorse right up to well in my 70s. My son Adrian's now doing it. He's pushing the Mudhorse because it's a very physical job. You've got to be fit out there in the soft mud. If you try to go and do that without a Mudhorse, some places you just disappear. It gets in your bones, and when I first started, there was quite a number of families in this estuary doing it, and not only here, all the way around the Bridgewater Bay. It's just now got that there's just us left.
We come out in all weathers, even if it's snowing, sleet, hailstones. You do get worn down. It's like any other job, I suppose, but this job, you've got to come out, otherwise your catch gets spoilt. I mean, a day like today, I know it's a bit drizzly, but it's quite pleasant. You feel the breeze and then you know the tide's turned. Should be turned now in a minute. You work with the tide, not the tide works with you. You don't really know what you're going to catch with it. That's what I like about it. Brown shrimp, that's what we're mainly after. Well, I've got a few little Dover soles, slip soles, 1 or 2 prawns. We've caught all sorts out here. I've had a little lobster, a seahorse. And what I do, give them a sieve, let the little babby shrimps go, and pick the rubbish out I don't want. That's my favourite, little slip soles. Rolled in flour, fried in butter. Beautiful. There's a nice skate. Two hours ago, that was swimming. How fresher do you want than that?
And when they recede, vast mudflats are exposed. It's extremely difficult for fishermen to cross the muddy ridges to get their catch of the day. But a centuries-old contraption called a Mudhorse helps them traverse the thick, sticky terrain. I've come to meet Brendan Sellick and his son Adrian, who's the last remaining fisherman using this age-old technique.
Good to meet you.
Hello.
Thank you for the kind invitation.
Oh, lovely, yeah.
Can't come to Somerset and not do a little bit of fishing, but
Let's be honest, boys, this is going to be fishing with a bit of a difference, isn't it?
Well, I hope you've got a different set of clothes than that.
Am I going to get very dirty?
You are.
You'll get muddied up.
Yeah, I want to ask you, what is a mud horse?
Well, you put your body on there and go out, catch a catch and bring it back in. You lay on it and push it out.
So it's like a sledge?
It's like a sledge turned upside down.
So how long as a family have you been fishing like this? Is this a long tradition?
Well, I've done it for over 60 years. My father did it all his life, and his father, which I can just remember my grandfather, and the first one to come was the grandfather before in about 1820.
And what are we hoping to catch today?
Well, we might catch a bass or a mullet or a codlin.
I better get changed.
Yep, we'll get changed and make a move then.
And then we'll get started.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I'll see you in a minute, Father.
Yeah, okay.
79-year-old Brendan stopped fishing 4 years ago, and he's now based in the family-run fish shop. The waters here used to be awash with brown shrimp, the most profitable catch, but numbers have dwindled, meaning Adrian now has a night job to supplement his fishing income. How deep is this mud?
Well, it can get quite deep, actually, Nikki.
So this is the Mudhorse. So I now can see there's a really practical reason why you need this.
Yes.
The Mudhorse is invaluable, isn't it?
That's right. Tummy on there.
Yeah.
And off you go.
And then where am I pointing?
Follow that line, that's it.
My goodness. You wouldn't be able to do this without this slide. I'm now well and truly stuck. Adrian's come to my rescue, and after what feels like the longest trek, we're here, around a mile from shore. In front of us is the welcome sight of the wooden stakes supporting the nets, which hopefully hold the prize haul.
So we'll just need our basket.
Right.
We're going to carry that.
Yep. The stakes and nets haven't changed position for 200 years. Oh my goodness. I can see plenty of fish already.
Basket there, yeah.
So literally the tide takes the fish into the net and then they're trapped?
Yeah, they're swimming with the tide.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a beauty.
Right. That fish was caught coming in.
Is that going to be your dinner tonight, or are you going to be selling it in the shop?
Father won't let me have that for dinner.
That'll go in the shop. Yeah. Adrian makes his journey daily for 8 or 9 days before a 2 or 3 day break when the tides are low. He knows when it's safe to fish and where it's safe to tread. But if you don't know the lie of the land, fast-moving tides and soft patches of mud can be lethal. This certainly is a labour of love. But it is sad to think these old practices, these old traditional ways are going to die out.
That's right.
With commercial farming.
Because I don't do it for the money, I do it because I enjoy coming out here. It's just, I just carried on for the bloodline, like, you know.
See, I'm standing out here with you. It's pouring with rain. I'm not going to lie, it's freezing cold. But I've actually really enjoyed this. I have. Do you know the one fly in the ointment?
You've got to walk back.
It's that mile trekking through the mud.
That's it, turn around, follow the track and more away.
After another long, hard slog, this time to dry land, I think I'll definitely have earned my fish supper. So we've shown John and Tina
There is mud like this for miles and miles around Bridgewater Bay. It's not what you might call ideal working conditions, but there is one man who earns a living out here. Adrian Sellick is the last of the mud fishermen. To reach his nets, he crosses almost a mile of mud every day. I'm here to go mud fishing with him. If I want to give it a try, this is probably my only chance. Unfortunately, I don't have a sledge like Adrian's. For generations, mud fishermen have traveled to work this way. They call it a mud horse. And I can tell you, it's a lot quicker than walking.
See, they were very intelligent years ago. Somebody must have worked this out. I mean, you've got to admit, it's very hard walking through that mud, isn't it? It's so...
Absolutely. It was a struggle to
That's it, yeah.
Come on in. Come on, Jack. That's a good doggy.
Everything Adrian knows about fishing he learned from his father.
But after more than 50 years of mud, Adrian Sellick has decided it's time to stay on dry land.
Oh, I do miss it, but I up to 70, in my 70s, I was just going out there and lugging in great big loads and thinking nothing of it. But now, once you get over 70, I feel that there's a limit to what you can do. If something happened and I slipped down or something, you'd be in dead trouble in no time at all. Because it has happened for different people over the years I've been doing it. It's quite a few people who've lost their lives in this channel. It's so vicious if something goes wrong.
There is just an hour or two at low tide when it is safe to work out here.
Put it on. Oh, just down there. Yeah, just down there.
Adrian must empty whatever has been trapped in his fixed nets.
So how does the net work then? Fish comes into the net.
Yep.
The tide goes away.
It can't get back out.
Right.
So if I empty these out, so you can see all the fish in there, look, and nothing can go back through there. Can't get through that little flap of net.
Yeah. Clever.
Adrian, he's young and able to do it now, so let's hope that he can do like I've done for a number of years. But it's very hard work, and you have to be born into it to love it, and well, I really wouldn't want to do anything else. Well, I haven't done anything else, but if I had my time again, I'd still like to do it because it's such an interesting thing. You never know from one day to the next what you're going to get.
Our catch today is mostly shrimps. Adrian saves them to let the small ones go back.
So today would be a good, reasonable catch?
It would, yeah, for the nets I've got, that is a good catch, like, you know.
I never saw so many shrimps in my life. It's unbelievable. It's hundreds, thousands. That's a nice prawn, that one.
We'll save that one then. I just carried on from the father. I'm just doing it to keep the business going as such. It's a very old craft. And what more do you want to know here, look? I can see from Cardiff right down to Exmoor nearly, Quantocks, Brendan's.
Oh, it's beautiful. Yeah.
I can see it all.
You haven't got any headache or noises, and the pressure of life is totally different.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice today, but you come out in the winter time, and you've got to be prepared to have the, you know...
to take the bad.
Yeah.
When you can take the good.
I mean, you get an hailstone goes in one ear and he comes out the other, and you think, Christ, what was that? No.
You only get out what you put into it. You have to work hard to get to make it pay. If you don't do the work, you don't get your supper, sort of thing.
It's a nice way of living, I think. Good way of life.
That's one for my breakfast.
But you got to be hungry for it.
I think it would be a good way of living if you had the fish shops like we used to have them years ago, you know. Father's just ticking over now. I do it just for the, well, it's not the fun of doing it. I enjoy doing it. But my freezer's full up with fish anyway, so I get payment, well, eat so much fish as I want.
You could expand and have 2 or 3 of you working, but no, you'd have a lot of lean times which you couldn't support that. So really, it's just a one-man band, and that's the best way for it to be, I think. Because when you're on your own, if you don't earn a day's pay, well, you just have to do without it. And that's it.
Personally, myself, this is what I enjoy. This is my life. Look at the wildlife and what you see about you. It's just, you can dream out here, you know what I mean? Then you go back on the stage and you think, I've got to go back to reality now. Yeah.
It is unbelievable to think that in a few hours' time, the water will be about 35 feet above my head.
As we head back, I'm mindful of the rising tide and the freshness of our catch. Now we are back in the fishing house, and Brandon has sorted all the shrimps, cleaned them all up, washed them with water to get rid of the sediment, and then plunge them in hot boiling water for a couple of minutes, give them a good stir. Take them out of the hot water, and then put them in a big basket which has got a funny shape, like a dome shape in the middle, and leaving them to cool down now. This is like having a cooking lesson.
Yes, that's right, yeah.
A shake of salt and the freshest Somerset shrimps are ready for testing.
This is what you could do with a glass of wine now.
Yeah,
well, exactly.
A French loaf, a glass of wine and shrimps.
French loaf, French bottle of wine.
Very nice.
Yeah, good. Yeah.
Ever so nice. Yeah. My shrimp seems all the more delicieux, as we say in France, when I think that these are the last mud fishermen in business. How long do you think the tradition will live on for?
Well, it's an old part of England that's still hanging on here, sort of thing. The little cottage industry is just hanging on by its teeth, and it's a pity for it to die away, really.
And how does it make you feel to be aware that maybe the whole thing would die after 4 generations?
Yeah, it's not very nice. You hope it doesn't happen, but it has happened with a lot of them, and all the way through, right the way through the country. Industries like that have just finished. They haven't been able to make it profitable.
Yeah, but then people go to Sainsbury's or whatever to get it on the shop. They think, why should we drive all out there?
Yeah.
With that extra pound, we can get a bit here. You know what I mean? You're already in town.
And the only place in the world where it's actually done, just this spot here in Bridgewater Bay.
It's just a shame, really, that it's a nice old way of living, or, you know, a traditional way. And I expect it eventually will be lost, like, because I can't see, you know, going on much longer, like.
Where the land meets the sea, a Bridgewater Bay fisherman plies his trade.
This is the Mudhorse. I mean, it's very primitive, but it does work across the mud. Like it's like a table turned upside down by putting a nose on it and a couple of runners, and you've got a sledge.
It's an ancient livelihood that hasn't changed for centuries. Now, it's under threat.
The shrimp stocks are dwindling right away now. We're not catching so much as we did like 30 years ago. So this could be the last of the Mudhorse fishermen, actually, which would be a shame to let an old craft fade away. I mean, you know, who'd want to come out here and do this? I mean, it's a lovely day today, but I mean, when it's blowing a gale and snowing and raining and sleet, who wants to come out and get soaking wet?
Old-fashioned it may be, but it has many advantages over modern fishing methods.
Everything we catch, we can sell and make use of, so that there's nothing wasted compared to the big trawlers and everything, what they're limited to catch and what size they can catch. But everything we catch, we can use.
It's a family affair, from the shore
Nice pass.
to the shop.
Well, I've been brought up with it ever since I was knee-high. My father used to take me out on the Mudhorse, and I've been doing it ever since. People have said, well, why don't you get a job many years ago? And we just like doing the fishing, and that was it.
After 5 generations, Adrian may be the last lonely figure to fish on this landscape.
All I've caught today is some mullet, cod, some sprats, a few shrimps, and a bit of whiting. But I mean, that's see us through today, I suppose. Put a loaf of bread on the table, won't it? We'll head off in.
Andy Allcroft, BBC Points West. Andy Allcroft, BBC Spotlight.
Bridgewater Bay is a huge expanse of treacherous mudflats where wild conditions prevail. It's a place of stark beauty and rather difficult to work in, unless you're a fish or a Mudhorse fisherman. The Mudhorse is an ancient device dating back to Roman times, constructed traditionally from driftwood and whatever flotsam and jetsam was lying around on the beach. It enables the fishermen to slide across the mud to nets set on the seabed. The nets catch a variety of fish as the tide goes out. It's hard, dangerous work, and over time the numbers of Mudhorse fishermen have dwindled to 1. Adrian Sellick. Adrian.
Hello. How do you do?
I'm Adrian.
How do you
How do you do?
All right.
What a bizarre place.
Isn't it? Hey?
It's kind of surreal, isn't it? Can you come out here every day?
Every day.
Yeah.
14 days, yeah, and then have a couple of days off. And this is the Mudhorses.
These are the Mudhorses?
The famous Mudhorses,
Yeah.
huh?
Which obviously aren't horses at all.
No. We're the horses, I'm afraid.
Right. And what's the purpose of these?
Well, this is to help me with me catch, to bring me catch in.
Yeah.
And it stops me from sinking in the mud, like, you know?
Yeah. Because this mud...
Oh, it's really soft.
Let me just show the camera how bad this mud is. Here's a bit of mud. It's like that. That's what the mud's like.
Yeah.
Quite sticky.
And it gets deeper, I'm afraid.
And these are going to stop us from sinking
Sinking
in
in the mud.
And you're the last person doing it.
Using these as it is, yeah. Yeah.
That must make you feel weird, doesn't it?
Well, I don't know if it makes me feel weird or an idiot to go out across the mud.
And you leave these out here when the tide comes in here. That's
Yeah.
where they're covered in rocks.
Put the rocks on and it stops the tide.
Yeah.
That's the only hard part about it. I think it's taking the rocks off.
Yeah.
But,
well, perhaps we better do that and get out there.
Yeah. Well, if you like to take that one.
Mine's got more rocks than yours.
Oh, yeah.
And the hard work begins. These rocks weigh a ton. No wonder Adrian's the only one left. Can I just point out, Adrian, your boots don't seem very waterproof. So you're going to give me a lesson?
I'm going to give you
a driving lesson in mud horsing.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, here's the technique. Get up on the heel first. Woohoo.
Woohoo. Yeah, it's just my steering I haven't got going.
When you get on the flat, you'll be all right. It's just getting onto the flat bit.
I'm already stuck.
Are you?
Yeah. Just about.
Well, just get your weight on there. And then take all your weight off your leg.
Oh, yeah. That works, doesn't it? Oh, yeah.
Here we go.
That's not bad. And we're off. It's quite uncomfortable. Sorry, I'm going to get road rage in a minute.
Oh, yeah.
You keep cutting me up.
Not sure really what I'm doing, but in for a penny, as they say.
You got your weight there?
Yeah.
Are you happy with that?
Yeah.
Are you all right?
Yeah, all right.
You're finding it too difficult, just say mine.
How far do we have to go?
Oh, half a mile roughly.
Half a mile?
Ah, right. Half a mile. And it's not just us crossing the mud, it's the camera crew too. Their gear is quite heavy, so Adrian is taking their equipment. 10 minutes later, disaster strikes. The rain pours, the wind howls, and I'm stuck. Even Adrian's son Kane can't get me moving. We're coming to the point of no return. Things taking a turn for the worse. Adrian is out there. He's got the camera, so our cameraman is using his mobile phone to record this. The tide's about to turn. I reckon it's going to take me about 4 hours to get there and back, by which time the water will be up here. So I'm now going to turn round. So maybe see you later. I love you, Mummy. A little later, Adrian glides serenely back as if pushing a mud horse is the simplest job on earth. He must have legs like traction engines. I've just got little normal person legs, and so I refuse to feel less of a man. Well, maybe a bit.
I was going to say you're making it look easy, but it still looks difficult.
So you died on me then?
I got stuck. I got completely wedged.
Did you?
Yeah. Have you caught anything?
Yeah, I got a smooth up. I'll just pull this one back in and we'll sort it out if you like. Cut the mullet. It's not been a very good day, really.
Yeah. Are you telling me? Oh, well, they look all right.
Smooth hound
I
there.
say, he's good.
Oh, I've put them bigger than that. Cut the mullet and a silver reel.
What's that exactly?
Smooth hound taupe.
Taupe?
Yeah, like a taupe.
Yeah.
Call them smooth hounds. If you run your hands that way, lovely and smooth.
Yeah.
They'll go back the other way.
Yeah.
Like sandpaper.
Yeah, like Desperate Dan's beard. Well, your dad sells them, doesn't he, from a little shop?
From a little shop we got, yeah.
Yeah. Well, should we take these to him and see what he says?
Yeah.
Let's get back then.
I think it's a cup of tea time more than anything.
Oh, yeah. Once we're back on dry land, we take the fish we've caught to the shop. You must be Brendan.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
I've trying to get Adrian to help me do some fishing, but I had to do it all myself in the end.
Not very much today, was there?
No, it's not a huge catch, is it?
No, never mind.
He's quite nice though, isn't he?
Yeah, very nice, yeah.
There's a couple of eels in the bottom there, Dad, as
Oh,
well.
right.
So make sure you put them in the tank.
Now, there's a couple of tiddly shrimps in there.
Oh, we'll have them, yeah.
Which is nothing, is it,
No,
these days?
no. We should have a basket. If the wind wasn't blowing, we'd have had a basket for today.
Yeah.
Of shrimp.
How much did you used to catch in the old days?
Oh.
I mean, that's kind of what...
100 weights of shrimps.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, 100 weights of shrimps. But now we still catch a few, but nothing like we did a few years ago.
Yeah.
It's 90% short, I should think.
Really?
Yeah, we probably catch 10% what we used to catch 40, 50 years ago.
Right.
Yeah, and of course there was a lot of people fishing in those days. When I first started, there was a...
Because you used to do exactly what Adrian does now, don't you?
Yeah, Adrian does it now, but I've been doing it for 60 years, and I'm just helping him out now. I'm gone too old to go with a Mudhorse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And did your dad do it before you?
Yeah, my dad. And his dad.
His dad.
And the one before.
Did they?
The Sellick started in about 1830.
Right.
And we've been doing it ever since. We're the last remaining people doing it in this estuary.
Yeah.
Now we just catch enough for our just local trade.
I see you've got an old kind of thing up on the wall here.
Yeah.
And you're catching all that still, or is some of that gone?
Yeah, we're catching all that still, yeah.
Conger eel.
But you know what fishing is? You have 2 or 3 good days, and then you have a bit of bad weather like we've had today, and you just don't, be lucky to catch anything.
Yeah. Then you've got this little shop here.
Yeah.
Which is a nice little outfit. And
Yeah.
It's not in a bustling high street.
No.
So who do you get coming by?
Well, we just rely on the villagers up in the villages and that, Netherstoy and Bridgewater and different places. They come out, ring up.
See what you got.
Yeah, see what we got.
Yeah.
And there is a nice little demand if it's nice fresh fish, and we got the old customers that always ring up and come out.
Yeah.
And that's what keeps us going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thanks very much.
Oh, you're welcome.
It's been a pleasure
All
to
the
meet
very
you.
best.
Cheers,
Yeah.
man. All right.
See you again sometime.
All right. Up a bit. There we are. This is the one. Okie dokie. And smile.
Welcome to Bridgewater Bay. This place is all about its history. 60 million years ago, fossils like these were thriving. More recently, ship captains used to come to the working harbour and go and eat and drink at the local inn. And it even placed host to the world's last Mudhorse fisherman. But he, like the rest of the history, might disappear soon. And it's all thanks to that place.
This is Hinkley Point, and it's about to get a whole lot bigger. French company EDF Energy plan to build 2 giant new nuclear complexes. This will affect the coastal plain of West Somerset in a number of ways, both positively and negatively. But the 2 men that it will affect the most are the world's last Mudhorse fishermen. Brendan and his son Adrian could lose their livelihood. That wooden contraption that Adrian is pushing is the Mudhorse. He heads out over the mud flats of Bridgewater Bay to his nets and brings back all sorts of wonderful fish to this shop where his father Brendan sells it. But because of the way the nuclear reactors are cooled, this age-old trade may be destroyed.
At the heart of the Mudhorse fishermen's problems is that strange island out there. What it is a water intake, and it sucks the water through to cool the nuclear reactors. But as it sucks the water through, it also sucks fry and plankton through. The Mudhorse fishermen then claim that these fry and plankton get boiled on their way around the reactor, therefore die and affect their fish stocks.
To find out about this unique and endangered style of fishing, I joined Adrian in his specially adapted jeep which he uses to get down to the Mudhorse, which he parks halfway down the shore. It requires fitness and strength, as well as nerve and stamina to run the gauntlet of the second highest tidefall in the world. When the tide goes out here, it goes out for miles. Once Adrian had unearthed the age-old contraption, we set out over the mudflats to collect the catch.
A couple of whites in there, they make nice little fillets, sprats, and the old brown shrimp, what everybody's after like. This is my sort of hobby. I'm out here all by myself.
You like it out here?
Oh, I do, yeah. Can't fall out with no one, can you? But, you know. You can dream. Perhaps I'm a bit old to dream now, but I mean, it's... See, what noise do you hear out here? Look at that. The birds and just the swelling of the sea. That's about it.
Adrian's stationary nets catch the fish when the tide is in, and he rushes to collect them before the seagulls get there first.
So, you guys are genuinely the last mudhorse fisherman in the world, aren't you?
I'm absolutely the last mudhorse fisherman. Yep.
So, are you looking to pass it on, or...?
Well, is it going to be here? If they build that other nuclear power station, is it going to be here to be passed on? That's the thing of it.
So you really could just finish this for you guys?
Yeah, just knock it in the head, that'll be it, the end of it. That'll be another edition gone, you know, in a way.
Having loaded the Mudhorse, Adrian must push the contraption the long, slippery mile back to the shingle. Half a century ago, there were dozens of men out here earning a living from the fish. Adrian now cuts a lonely figure, and it seems an irony that something so modern as nuclear technology could put an end to a pastime that relies on something as simple as a wooden sledge. Just a few miles away in the local town of Bridgewater, EDF project manager Simon Dunford was explaining to the public the new plans for Hinkley Point.
What we've done so far is we've bought the land, as you're probably aware, earlier this year, and we started to do feasibility studies. So we're looking at how suitable the land is to build a nuclear power station.
Your next door neighbour is a Mudhorse fisherman, and he says that your cooling systems destroy fish eggs, which means that there's no new generations of fish within the Bristol Channel. Now, what type of measures would you take to accommodate Mr. Adrian Sellick and his son Adrian?
Firstly, I really can't comment on the power stations that are already there and anything they might or might not have done. As far as we're concerned, one of the checks that we are doing is looking at a fish survey. So we have boats out in the channel, out in the estuary today, looking at where the fish populations are, where the plankton populations are, and where would be the best place to put our intakes. What we have planned is to have our intakes much further out, so a long way from the mudflats, and therefore I wouldn't imagine we'll have anything like the impact that the existing stations have. Having said that, we're still only at the survey stage, so we'd be delighted to talk to him and say this is what we're doing and how we can minimise the impact on his activities.
It's not only Brendan and Adrian who are opposed to the new nuclear reactors. I came to meet Crispin Aubrey, an environmental journalist who's been battling against Hinkley expansion for years. Are you alone, or are there others in this area that oppose new nuclear?
I think they're less noisy at the moment than they were in the 90s, 80s. But yes, I talk to people around here, and apart from those who work at the power station or who are economically dependent on it, who have a commitment to it, there are a lot of people who are very unhappy about this proposal to build new nuclear power stations. Yeah. I think let's go for a combination of renewable sources, none of which produce carbon dioxide, and saving energy. We really have to reduce our energy consumption to start with. And of course, if we reduce our energy consumption, we don't need so much electricity.
Not everyone agrees with the environmentalists. In Stegursey, the nearest village to Hinkley Point, there are people in favour of the expansion plans.
Yes, we're really looking forward to having the new nuclear reactors being built, because it will bring a lot of work, a lot more people, a lot more business to the area. Yeah, we can't wait.
I've been living in the story for 48 years, and there's always been Hinkley Point around and about. It's been working the company, village and whichever, and that's it. Be no problems with it at all.
It'll bring loads of work to the community. I mean, years ago, there was no people around here to work at all.
Back at the Sellick's fish house, Brendan was cooking the freshly caught shrimps and reminiscing the old days, regretting how they will never return.
When I was a boy 60 years ago, I took it on from my father. There was a dozen people doing it in this Bridgewater Bay estuary, fishing and catching literally tons and tons of course, we never had the money for it, only pennies, but the product was there, and it wouldn't no longer, you couldn't do that these days. We're surviving just about, but I mean, if you had a lot of families, they wouldn't be able to survive. And that must be all to do with the diluting of the stocks. It's like rabbits in a field. If you have somebody there with a gun, he's going to shoot nearly all of them. Well, that's what happened with the power station. It's over the years, it just intakes, and anything that intakes comes out dead.
Brendan and Adrian say they will listen to what EDF have to say, but whatever happens, do they really believe the new reactors will destroy their livelihood?
Well, it could, yes. It's not for us as much as it's destroying the life of the animals, the fish, babies. That's the important part of it.
Archaeologists have found a mudhorse preserved in a nearby peat bog, almost exactly the same as Adrian's. It dated back nearly 4,000 years. Now this ancient old trade only has a short time to save itself as the arguments for and against the nuclear expansion get underway.